Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So on day 16 of Kubernetes series, today we are going to focus on cross namespace communication, like how we can communicate different resources or our application pod between two namespaces. So the question is, why do we need different namespaces? So to isolate our resources, we generally use a namespaces. By default, Kubernetes provide us a default namespace where we create resources. Like by default, whatever resources we create, that will go inside a default namespace. What in real time, we have to create a separate namespace based on our resources, teams, or projects. So let's understand from this example. So suppose I have two namespace, which is the one is default, another one we have here is foo. So we have two application pod is running in both the namespaces. Now I want to set up a communication between these two pods. Suppose this is our web server running here and this is our database servers. Now we need to stabilize a connection between these two pods. So whatever the data is coming from the front end or our web servers, that can be stored on a database. So how we can set up a communication between these two namespaces? So by default, a pod in different namespaces can communicate to each other using a DNS name, or I would say fully qualified domain name. And if you know the service name and namespace, you can set up a communication. And there are other ways as well which we can use to set up a communication. So let's understand. So the very first is using a service plus DNS, which is the default method. Another method here we have headless services. So headless services we have already discussed in when we did a demonstration on stateful sets. So headless service generally we use when we need a direct connectivity to application pod. So yeah, use case you can see here, pod to pod communication. For that purpose we use headless services. Another method we can use to set up a communication between cross namespace, which is external name. So basically we create a local alias for remote namespaces and we can use it. Another one here we have ingress and service mesh. So in today's video we are going to focus on default method, and in upcoming series we will also discuss all the method which we can use to set up a cross namespace communication. Okay, now let me move on to demonstration part. So let me go to my folder. Okay, day 16. So here I have already explained the steps. If you want to do hands-on from your own, you can do that. So what we are going to do, basically, we are going to create a two namespaces. The very first namespace is service hyphen producer. Another namespace we are going to create with service hyphen consumer. So there are two namespaces which we will create. Now in one namespace, which is service hyphen producer, we are going to set up our nginx web servers, and we are also going to create a services, because we need a services plus DNS name to set up a cross name communication. So here we are going to use a cluster IP service. And as we know, cluster IP service is the internal service which generally used to set up a communication between the pods. And in another namespace, which is service consumer, there we are going to deploy a simple BGBox image. So we will get a Linux terminal where we can execute our commands. So what we will do, basically, from this pod, BGBox pod, what we will do, we will try to access nginx web server using a DNS name, fully qualified domain name. So let's move to a demonstration. So this is a very simple ML file. So you can see only 4 steps here. We have like API version, kind, metadata, same here. And in nginx also we are going to use a deployment, and we are going to create a one replica. And this is a part of template, like a container basically. So we are going to use nginx latest image here, and container port we are going to use 80 as default port on for nginx application is 80. Okay, now let me go to my Visual Studio Code and let me create a file called So okay, let me copy the content. Okay, so let me first apply this file kubectl apply -f and file name. So if I will check namespaces, kubectl get namespaces. So we can see this is the default namespace where generally our resources are created if we don't use any custom namespaces. And these are the two ones which we are going to use as part of this demonstration. So as of now, we don't have any resources in both the namespaces. So let me do one thing. Let me first create a resource on service consumer, sorry, a service producer workspace. So let me take a name of this file. Okay. So now I will apply this file as well, kubectl apply -f and file name, which is 02-nginx-producer.ml. So from this file basically we have created a pod and a services. So if let's verify it, kubectl get pods. Okay, so we have created this pod in default namespace. So I have to specify the name as well. Sorry, -n and namespace name, which is service-producer. Okay, so spelling mistake. Let me copy the name. Okay, so we can see we have one pod is running in this namespace, and if I will use -o white. Okay, so again it will not show because let me add here -o white. So here we can see a lot more details about containers, which is not required. So let me do one thing. Let me clear the resources. So we have one pod as part of this namespace, and we also have a services which is inside this namespace. If I will search for svc, so we have one pod and one service in service producer namespace. Now next what we need to do, we need to create a pod in another namespace which is service consumer. So from that pod basically we will try to access our nginx web server. So let me go to third file and let me copy the name. Sorry, so one more thing you can see here, when we are creating a manifest files, we are specifying a namespace under the metadata. That's what the resources are creating on a specific namespace. Let me close this. Okay, now let me copy it and paste it here. So this is the command basically which we are going to execute. Not command basically, this command basically keeps containers to up and running, because I have specified 3600 sleep seconds. So we can, during that time basically we can run our commands and we can check what we need to verify. So let me check kubectl apply -f and file name. So if I will verify my pod in this namespace, which is service-consumer. So now we have another pod which is running inside service-consumer namespace. So what I will do, I will go inside this pod, and from inside this pod basically we will try to access our nginx using a curl or wget command. So first what we will do, we will use kubectl. Okay, so let me write pod, sorry. Okay, we will use interactive terminal and pod name which is busybox. Okay, let me copy the name again. Okay, at least you must specify at least one command. Okay, so I think we have to pass pod here. Okay, so the pod command is deprecated. Let me check what command I have used here. Okay, so basically we have to run this command. Let me clear the screen. So this is the name of our pod, which is busybox consumer pod, and hyphen namespace. We have to specify which namespace basically we have this pod, because the default we were running on a default namespace. So now let me run it. Now I'm inside my busybox consumer pod. So if I'll do ls-l, so we can see all the Linux files. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to run, or we need to access our nginx web server using a fully qualified domain name. So let me copy this command and let me clear it. So if you see, we are using a wget, you can use curl as well, -o, and this is the fully qualified domain name. So if you can see the nginx-producer-service, this is the service name. So if I will go to my producer file, and this is the name of our service, which is nginx-producer-service, and this is the namespace. So the service name dot namespace we have here service-producer, and this is the local cluster name, like svc.cluster.local. So if I will run this command, we should see any like default HTML page. So we are able to see, if I'll go above, you can see welcome to nginx, and these are the content of our nginx image. So it means we are successfully set up a communication between two pods using a DNS name, or sorry, a services plus DNS name, because if you see in this command, we have, this is the fully qualified domain name, and this is the service, and this is the service name. Sorry, the first one is a service name, and second part is we have here this namespace name, and this is the svc.cluster.local. So we are able to successfully connect it to our front end, I would say, in this terms, so like, which is nginx applications, and we are able to access. So similar way we can use a default method using services and DNS if we are using, like, if we are trying to connect from front end to any Redis storage or any databases. So like that, basically we can use services plus DNS name to set up a communication between cross namespace. So I hope it's clear. In case if you have any doubts, you can ping me over comments. I will keep the link of GitHub repo in a description box. So if you want to do hands-on, you can do that also. So that's all for today. See you next video. Thank you so much.